Little Trunk was a very small elephant. He was born in the vast savanna where the sun kissed the earth and the wind whispered through the tall grasses. From the moment he took his first wobbly steps, everyone noticed something different about him. He had big ears and a big heart. His ears flapped like giant fans, and his heart was full of love and curiosity. He loved exploring the world around him, always eager to learn and play. But his trunk? Oh, it was the smallest trunk anyone had ever seen. The other elephants laughed. They couldn't believe how tiny it was compared to their own long, strong trunks. "You call that a trunk?" they'd say, shaking their big heads. They would trumpet loudly, showing off their impressive trunks, while Little Trunk could only watch in silence. Little Trunk would try to trumpet, but it came out a squeak. He felt sad. He wanted so much to be like the others, to make the same powerful sounds and be part of the herd's symphony. He just wanted to play with the others. He would watch them from a distance, his small trunk hanging low, wishing he could join in their games and adventures. He wanted to trumpet loudly and splash in the mud. The mud looked so inviting, and the sound of the other elephants' trumpets filled him with longing. But they wouldn't let him. They would play and trumpet, leaving him on the sidelines, feeling more alone than ever. He was too little, they said. Too little to play their games, too little to trumpet like them. But Little Trunk knew that one day he would show them that even the smallest trunk could make a big difference. One sunny day, the elephants were joyfully playing by the river. The water sparkled under the bright sun as they splashed and bathed, their laughter echoing through the air. Little Trunk, a young and shy elephant, watched from behind a bush. His eyes were wide with wonder as he observed the older elephants having so much fun. He wanted to join so badly. His heart ached with longing as he imagined himself splashing in the water and playing with the others. Gathering all his courage, he took a deep breath and tried to call out to them, "Can I play too?" His tiny trunk trembled with effort, but all that came out was a tiny peep, barely louder than a whisper. His small voice was lost in the noise of the river and the laughter of the other elephants. The other elephants didn't even hear him. They continued their games, unaware of Little Trunk's plea. Little Trunk felt tears welling up in his eyes. He felt so small and insignificant, his heart heavy with sadness. Overwhelmed by his emotions, he turned and ran, hiding in the tall grass. The blades of grass swayed gently around him, offering a small comfort. He wished he wasn't so small. He wished he could be noticed and included in the fun. He wished he could be big and strong like the others, able to trumpet loudly and play without fear. But for now, he could only dream and hope for a day when he would be just like them. Then, one afternoon, the sky turned dark. The wind howled. Rain poured down like never before. The river began to rise. The animals panicked. The water was rising fast. "Help! Help!" cried the monkeys, clinging to the tallest trees. The elephants trumpeted in fear. They were strong, but even they couldn't fight the rushing water. They were trapped. Little Trunk saw a small, narrow cave hidden behind a waterfall. It was high up on a rocky ledge. Maybe everyone can fit, he thought. He knew he had to be brave. He ran to the other elephants. "I know a safe place." He peeped, pointing with his little trunk. The other elephants were surprised. "You? But you're too small to help," they said. But Little Trunk stood his ground. "Please," he peeped, "trust me." One by one, Little Trunk led the animals to the cave. The forest was dense, and the path was winding, but Little Trunk was determined. He knew the way, and he knew the importance of getting everyone to safety. The other animals followed him, trusting his lead. He used his little trunk to guide them, to reassure them. Whenever an animal seemed hesitant or scared, Little Trunk would gently nudge them forward, offering comfort and encouragement. His trunk, though small, was a beacon of hope for the others. He even helped the littlest monkey climb onto his back. The monkey was too small to keep up with the larger animals, but Little Trunk made sure no one was left behind. With the monkey safely on his back, they continued their journey. Finally, everyone was safe inside. The cave was spacious enough to accommodate all the animals, providing them with the shelter they desperately needed. The sound of the storm outside was muffled by the cave walls. They huddled together, dry and thankful. The warmth of their bodies and the sense of togetherness brought them comfort. They knew they had Little Trunk to thank for their safety. The storm raged outside, but inside the cave there was warmth and relief. The wind howled and the rain poured, but the animals felt secure. They listened to the storm, knowing it couldn't touch them here. The other elephants looked at Little Trunk with new eyes. They had always seen him as the smallest among them, but now they saw his bravery and leadership. He had proven himself in a way that words couldn't describe. He wasn't just a small elephant, he was their hero. His actions had spoken louder than any roar, and his courage had shone brighter than any lightning. He had saved them all. The animals gathered around him, expressing their gratitude. Little Trunk stood in the center, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. He had done it. He had led them to safety.